shoulders. He took out his sword, and he cut the red cloth in two, and he gave half of it to this poor beggar who was sitting there. A cloak, that's the word I'm looking for. And gave it to the beggar and went on into the city. And that night, when he went to bed and he fell asleep, he had a vision. And he was in heaven. And there were all the angels and the saints, and there was Christ on the throne, wrapped in this ratty old red cloak. And the angel said to him, Lord, where did you get that old thing? And the Lord said, my friend Martin gave me that. And so it's an illustration of the story. If you did it to one of the least of these, you did it to me. And to do it with care and with love. The modern story. I'm somewhat of a fan of the late Archbishop Fulton Sheen. He always had great stories. I always wish I could preach like him and get away with it, but it just doesn't really work for me. It just sounds pretentious when it comes out of my mouth, so he could carry it off well. But he told a story one time that he was flown to the Philippines and was visiting a leper colony in the Philippines. And he said, in this leper colony, there were 500 lepers. And I had gone there to make a visit, and I had taken with me 500 small silver crucifixes to give to each of the lepers that were there. And so after my talk and my visit, the lepers came forward one by one to receive the cross that the bishop had brought for the blessing. And the first man approached me, his face disfigured, partly eaten away by the disease, his skin blotched and colored. He held out this mottled hand, and I dropped the crucifix into his palm. And at that moment, there were 501 lepers in that colony. He caught himself and realized what he had done. And he says, I snatched the crucifix out of his hand, and I pressed it into his palm. That was the Christian gesture. That was the human gesture. To encounter someone in need and to respond not with disgust or to be at a distance and to protect ourselves, to go in as fully as possible, to have that human touch. Third story I tell myself. It was right when I came to Orthodox Cathedral in Dallas, and while I was there,